I'm 70.
Hey, how y'all doing? We live.
Yes, look at us trying to be right here.
Trying to be fancy.
Yes, let me adjust my little thingamajig here with Instagram.
Yeah, look. Okay, so y'all, we live on Facebook. There's a background.
Yeah, I think it's on mine too.
It's got to be your headset. So
I need to turn off my volume.
Instagram, Facebook. Probably need to mute it. We are gonna get it popping, okay? So we got a couple things that we want to talk about. And it's Tennessee Day.
Yeah. Oh, like Miss America. Cause did you say Miss Tennessee Day?
No.
Okay. I thought that's
Jobs in Tennessee.
Jobs in Tennessee. Okay. I am ready. Cause I'm like Miss Tennessee Day. Okay.
Okay. So before we get into that, there is one thing that I wanted to talk about. So as everybody knows, I have a Mr. Clifton. Okay. And Mr. Clifton keeps myself and Kameel up to date on the latest, greatest news and information that's out there. And so we just learned yesterday that they have announced what the date for the international road check. Okay, and so what that is basically it's going to be May the 4th through May the 6th this year. And so basically they are doing checks at way stations, road checks across the whole United States. That's the weekend you're going to see a lot of semis pulled over on side of the road, making sure that their lights are good, their logs are good, their electronic logs, their maintenance records. They're pulling them on side of the road, doing all of those kind of checks. So this year it is May the 4th through the 6th. And I wanted to share with you guys some required documentations and devices that you have to make sure are in order before that time actually comes. So I'll go through this little checklist. I've got some more details. If you want me to send them to you, leave a comment in the comment box. Okay. All right, and if you guys are getting if you're getting like a back feed or a echo, let us know, because I'm hearing an echo on my side.
You do?
Yeah.
I have mine turned all the way down on my Instagram stuff.
Okay, maybe that's why.
Because that's what it was for me.
All right. So, okay. So, let me just pull up the checklist, what you guys need to make sure that you have in order. So basically, they're going to want to see your electronic login devices. So you have to be able to share and show those. They're going to want to see your CDL, make sure it's valid. They're going to be checking that you are not driving a manual transmission and you have a manual restriction. So make sure that you're in the right type of vehicle that you should be in. Your medical certificate, including any waivers that you have to have, that needs to be readily available. Proof of periodic inspection documentation, so proof that you've done periodic inspections, and all load related paperwork, such as your bill of lading, your emergency response information if you're doing hazmat loads. All of those things should be readily available. So again, this is in regards to the 2021 International Road Check that's going to be held the weekend of May 4th through May 6th. Let me just make sure that's the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not a weekend. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Thursday.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Make sure you guys make sure everything is operating in your tractors. Okay. All right, so I just wanted to share that to kind of kick it off because, like like we do every day, we're on our Facebook pages every day at 12. Um, Myself, Miss Jerri, owner and founder of Life on the Road Recruiting, and my girl.
Yeah, Auntie Kameel or Kameel, whatever you want to call me, with Rig on Wheels. So, like Miss Jerri said, we are here around lunchtime ish, so noon ish every day, Monday through Friday. And now we're definitely trying to do it on our Instagram. So we're trying to figure out the logistics of the computer and the phone. So just to know, that's why we're kind of looking up or down. It's two different devices. So we're trying to get that figured out because we always do it on Facebook and the Facebook group and YouTube. But we definitely need to acknowledge and do things with our Instagram family.
Yes, because we got a lot of followers over at Instagram, and we got to make sure we include them. Because I was telling my son this morning,
Mm-hmm.
because he has an Instagram page, and he has over 20,000 followers on his Instagram page, and he was saying, y'all need to make sure y'all going live on Instagram because on Facebook it's gonna be people y'all age, okay? And yes, it's a lot of drivers on Facebook that's y'all age, but on Instagram it's a lot of drivers that's my age, in 25, 26, and so they're wanting those same jobs and trucking information and all the details that y'all are sharing. So make sure that y'all doing on both platforms. So that's why Kameel and I are really trying to cover both of the platforms, our Instagram platform, our Facebook platform, and of course YouTube. We got a lot of followers on YouTube as well, so we make sure we always include our
Great.
YouTube family.
Yeah, so
All right,
like
so
Miss Jerri said, if you hear feedback or something like that, I'm thinking it would probably come more for Instagram. Is who I'm talking to. If so, just kind of let us know. But
hey friend.
yeah, so just kind of let us know.
All right, so today we're talking about Tennessee. Tennessee. Kameel, I know you got a couple of lanes that you want to share and get started. Memphis always has some really good lanes, particularly team lanes out of that area. But the only team lane that I'm really seeing is that expedited teams. So it's a good one. It's an expedited team lane. They only need 3 months experience. You're out 3 weeks. Um, you average 1550 a week each. Okay. So each driver averages about $1,550 a week. This is that run that Kameel's always talking about. You need to make sure that you have your doubles endorsement because like the doubles endorsement, like she always says, it's a 10 to 12 question test. You can go down to the DPS, take that test, and get that doubles endorsement on your license. But each driver is averaging $1,550 each week. Okay, that's huge. And you have to have that doubles endorsements before you come into orientation. But orientation, I think on this one is in Ellenwood. Oh, no, you get options. So you can do orientation in Illinois, in Cunnavalle, Georgia, in Springfield, or Irving, Texas. But for doubles training, you have to, if you don't have any doubles experience, you'll have to go to a special orientation for that. But again, minimum out 3 weeks to get that minimum weekly. So that 1550 a week each driver that I'm talking about, you have to be available for all 6 days. So if you run 5 days, but you're available for that 6 day, you're gonna still get paid that 1550. They only have enough lanes for you, or enough runs for you to run for 4 days, and you're available that full 6 days. You're still gonna get paid that minimum 1550. Now, can you make more than $1,550 a week? Absolutely, absolutely. But I like this lane because there's also a sign-on bonus with it. There is a $12,000 sign-on bonus. So, or a 50 or $30,000 sign-on bonus, but you split it. You split it with your drivers, and the way they break it down over the course of a year. Actually, no, this one's breaking down a little bit. It's the course of 2 years. So they break this one down over the course of 2 years, and I do know that you get $500 after your first load, another 500 after being there for 30 days, and then so forth and so on each month after that. So good team lane for Expedited. If you're already paired team, we'd love to have you. We can pair you and put you together beforehand, but we really, really prefer our teams to come together already. Okay, we want you to already be a ready-made paired team. Okay. All right, so that's what I have on the Expedited. I have another lane with one of my second chance companies, but Kameel, I'll let you go ahead and get started.
Okay. So the first one that I want to discuss, let's go to the dollar stores, because I have a few dollar stores that cover a lot of places in Tennessee. Okay, so let's say that I have about 4 that I can think of off the top of my head that's going to cover different areas in Tennessee. And also you'll be able to get your choice of where you want to run. Okay, so I have a Family Dollar. The distribution center is in Moorhead, Kentucky. All you need is 3 months experience. That's it. Just 3 months experience. For everything that I'm about to talk about, you need to be able to pass a hair follicle drug test. Somebody just told me that you are hearing feedback.
Okay.
So I don't know, but because I don't know how to fix that part. I'm gonna try to work on that because we doing things off of 2 devices. Well, really 4 devices, just 2 locations. But anyway, so Family Dollar Moorhead. Okay. So when it comes to Family Dollar Moorhead, you still see me, Jerri?
No, I took it off.
Okay, you don't see me. Okay. So we're just gonna do it on not on Instagram. Okay, so Family Dollar Moorhead. So with the Family Dollar Moorhead, Family Dollar and Dollar Tree work just the same. Basically, you're gonna back up to the back of the truck, and then you are going to have your conveyor belts or ramp, and you're gonna slide down each box. Okay. You are going to, on average, make between $1,200 and $1,600. With this one out of Moorhead, Kentucky, they do hire half of the Tennessee. So you just bust Tennessee down the middle. Okay, so if you go from, what's that going to be? Like half of Nashville all the way down is basically what they're hiring for with this. So that's Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Those are the areas that this distribution center will run. That does not mean that you're going to hit every area, but this distribution center only runs there. So you'll never go to Mississippi, you'll never go to Illinois for this one, okay? You do have a $12,000 sign-on bonus that they're going to pay you, and it's basically $1,000 a month. for 12 months. The first month, $1,000 is broken up into 500, but that is going to include your, that's in addition, not include, I'm sorry, that's going to be in addition to your monies that you're getting every week. So that average of 12 to 1600 that you're getting every week, plus the $1,000 every month. Remember, all you need is a 3 months experience. That's it. Just 3 months experience. Okay. Um, you have to pass a hair drug test going back to October. So 4 months. With Family Dollar is a multi-stop. Once you're done with the 6, 7 stops on the load, then you go right back to Kentucky to Moorhead, and you are home on a weekly basis. I have a long detailed on YouTube video talking about all 3 of the main dollar stores. But I have a few more to talk about, but I'm just letting you know, if you want it even broken down even more in detail, it's on my YouTube page. Okay, Miss Jerri, you can go to your next one. I'm going to take a phone down here.
All right. Okay, so the next one that I have, like I said, it is a second chance company. And this company is based out of El Paso, Texas, but they have yards in Georgia. They have a huge yard in Memphis, Tennessee, and also Nashville, Tennessee. But this particular lane, let me see here. Where did it go? So they have a lane that runs out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's a home weekly lane, and you pretty much run like the Northeast. So you run you can run anywhere in the Northeast. And on this lane, you need to have at least 6 months experience. Okay. So 6 months experience, hiring within 100-mile radius of Nashville, Tennessee. All right. So that's that Northeast region. If you're a driver that does not like the Northeast, that does not like to run in the snow or the mountains, this isn't the lane for you. Okay. But if you like it, hey, whatever works. Okay. But the average pays between $900 to $1,100 a week. And again, you're home every week for a 34-hour reset. In addition, they also have some OTR. So when I say second chance companies, let me get back over to my screen. When I say second chance companies, I mean we have companies that if you have a few blemishes on your background, if you have a couple felonies, a couple misdemeanors, they will consider you. Okay. So this is your opportunity for a second chance, not to mess it up, but to take this second chance, get you some experience, get some time passed beyond your felonies, some time passed beyond some of those tickets that some of our mega carriers will not even look at. Get some time beyond those things with this company, because the pay is still considerable. It's still comparable with some of our larger companies. But yeah, this is your second chance. It is a urine company. They are one of the ones that we have that's still doing urine drug screens. They will, if you have a DUI on your background, they will take you if your DUI is 3 years old. It has to be older than 3 years. Most of the companies that we work with, a DUI, they want it to be 5 years, 7 years. We have some companies that say 10 years. Your DUI has to be 10 years old. And we have some companies that say never. You can never have a DUI. So with this particular company, they'll take you with a DUI as long as it's over 3 years old. So this company runs International Pro Stars. I talked to a lot of drivers that say some that I talk to say they absolutely love International Pro Stars. Some that I talk to say they hate International Pro Stars and they just Freightliner Cascadia or Kenworth drivers. But these are International Pro Stars. I think the majority are manual, but they do have some automatics as well. If I've seen a few drivers that have had an automatic restriction or a manual restriction where they took their CDL test in a manual and got the restriction put on their license so they can only drive an automatic, but they will take you because they'll work it out. So the owner of this particular company, and this is just from doing research, talking to my drivers and things like that. So the owner of this company, he owns an International Pro Star dealership. Okay. So he
Mm-hmm.
not only, so all of his trucks for his company are going to be International Pro Stars. So he owns a dealership. He, his drivers drive the International Pro Stars and they are big on fuel efficiency. So every year they do like this whole, whoever has the best fuel efficiency throughout the entire year, they go into a drawing, they get the opportunity to win a new car. And so I just really like this company. Not only that, he owns a dealership, you get new trucks every few years, but I like the fact that it's a second chance. Like you get an opportunity to make things right, to do the right thing. So they will give you a second chance. I really like that fact. But back to the OTR. OTR, they will hire teams and solo on this OTR lane. They're hiring in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, of course, is what we're talking about. North Carolina as well, but nothing east of Raleigh or Fayetteville, the Raleigh-Fayetteville line, nothing east of that. It's 10 days out, 10 to 14 days out, 2 days home. If you're a runner, you're going to run, okay, because they average about 3,000 miles a week on a solo. And on teams, they average about 6,000 miles, okay? And so this is that OTR with that particular company. You can pick teams, you can pick solo. They'll take you with 6 months experience. They want a minimum of 12, but they will consider 6 as well. Okay. Last thing, pay on that is between 800 to 1,000 a week is the pay on this one. Okay. A little bit more, a little bit less, depending on if you hit that 3,000 or if you don't.
Okay, so I was going to lump all of these together. I am for one quick second. Let me just say this. I have Family Dollar that hires in Tennessee. I have Dollar Tree that hires in Tennessee. The distribution center is in Warrensburg, Missouri. So I have both of those. However, the reason why I didn't want to lump this one in with it is it's a Dollar General, not that it's anything real big different other than you use the rollatainers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the rollatainers, so let me pull that up again right quick. You use rollatainers for this instead of the conveyor belt, and anything that might be loose in those rollatainers, you're going to use the U-boat cart, which is like a flatbed with the two handles. But the reason why I didn't just want to say I got a bunch of dollar stores in that area, because at the end of the day, dollar stores generally are just that, dollar stores, right? They're very similar. However, this one I can take a recent grad or a refresher on this one, as well as an experienced driver, which means 3 months plus recent experience. So whether you're fresh out of school, your experience is over, or it's not recent, or doesn't calculate with what this company considers recent. If you are in the Nashville and Crossville area, I can hire you in Tennessee for this. It also hires in Evansville area and French Lick, Indiana. Evansville, Indiana, and French Lick, Indiana. Okay, and all of Kentucky. Okay, all of Kentucky. This one you're going to have more stops on the load So you're going to have about 12 to 15 stops and about 4 to 5 loads. The drivers are going to make between 11.50 and 13.50 a week with this one. The reason why I'm singling this one out versus the Dollar General, this is Dollar General, versus the Dollar Tree and the Family Dollar is because I can also take recent grads and refreshers on this one. So that is pretty, that's a big deal. Okay, where you just have to do 1 or 2 weeks with the trainer, and then you're direct 1 or 2 weeks with the trainer on that account, and then you'll be directly put onto the account with your own truck. So that's a big deal. So like earlier, I talked to a driver in the Chicago area that is with a company he's not happy with. He only had a couple of weeks of experience, but I talked to him about a Westfield, Indiana one that he would have been able to do with that one, because they will take a recent grad or a refresher. So that's that. We in Tennessee, we definitely have it where you can make 1150 to 1600 dealing with dollar stores out of that area. And I'm going to repeat again on my YouTube channel, as well as Miss Jerri's, but on my YouTube channel at Rig on Wheels, you are able to see an extremely detailed with pictures that pop up over my head or wherever on the side of my head, talking about the equipment that you'll be using. Jerri, you got another good one? A good hot potato? Jerri, can you hear me? Okay, good. Just making sure. Because I know we was having a feedback issue earlier.
Yeah, I had muted it. I have another one, well, another couple dedicateds that I want to pull up here real quick. Okay, so this company that I'm moving into, they actually have like quite a few just standard dedicateds that they do. And they're generally home every weekend or 3 out of 4 weekends of the month. And that last weekend, you can choose to be home during the week, or or you might work like 6 days that last week, but you're usually home 3 out of 4 weekends a month. You have to have, for the next jobs that I'm going to go over, you have to have at least 6 months experience, and I must stress that they only have manual transmission tractors. They only do manual. We have so many drivers that want to work for this particular company, but more and more schools are testing on automatics. So, it kind of limits drivers that don't know how to drive a manual transmission. But it's the South Central lane. You pretty much run like in the South Central. So your Arkansas, your Alabama, Kentucky, a little bit of Southern Illinois, um, Mississippi, Northern Texas. So it's literally South Central. So with 6 months starting off, you're going to start off at 45 cents a mile with no hazmat, and with hazmat at 46 cents a mile. The top pay drivers with over 9 years experience are going to be at 50 with no hazmat and 51 with hazmat. Okay. They do have a great guaranteed pay program where there's a minimum that you're going to make each week depending on the account, and it's over a period of weeks for this particular company. They've got newer model trucks. It's between 2018 to 2021, Freightliners, International, and Kenworths. They do the whole pack, the whole nine when it comes to the benefits, your medical, dental, vision, and also your 401k. They do have that option as well. So that's the South Central Regional. they do have some dedicateds that I want to share. No, their dedicateds are closed. No dedicateds, but they have an OTR. So their OTR hiring out of Tennessee. It's out 10 to 14 days, home 2 days, averaging 21.50 a week, and 6 months for that for OTR. They start at 51 cents a mile. Okay. And over 10 years, you're at 57 cents a mile if you have hazmat. All right. So that's really good. They recently did, when was it, Kameel, you think they did their pay increase? Was it like mid-COVID they started increasing pay?
Yeah, they did. I think it was mid COVID, and then they started also really looking at the drivers a lot more. And I want to throw it out here. I think it probably because they know that they're one of the few mega companies that's still doing urine.
Yes,
So they're
yes,
being a
yes.
little bit more stringent because of the companies that doing the hair. It's so many drivers that are being knocked out. I mean, earlier today, this driver was a shoe-in for this account. 3 weeks experience. So I could get him right on a dedicated account that if he had lived outside the hiring area, I wouldn't have been able to. I mean, everything was really good. He was going to be making $1,200 a week. And what happened? Can't pass a hair test. I said, well, stop smoking and call me back in June. Literally, that's it. Call me back in
Yeah, I
June.
feel like we be sounding like a broken
That's
record when we say, and I get tired. I just talked to another driver, Louisiana, and we said that one that I was talking about yesterday, that Walmart, the local Walmart, dedicated home every day, and well, he wasn't even going to qualify because he pretty much told me, he was like, I don't think I'm a I said, when the last time you drove? So this is how you guys can see like how we have to be like almost like pull that information
yeah.
out. Because my first question was, and I always ask my driver, so who you running for right now? Because I like to get an idea of what you're doing right now, what you're making right now, so that I can make sure I'm putting you in something that's going to be better for your family, your family situation. And so when I asked him, what you doing right now? The first question, oh, I'm working for a warehouse. Okay, so when the last time you ran? When the last time you drove a tractor 53 foot? And he said, oh, it was like January of last year. And I was like, okay, so red flags start going off at that point. So why you not, you got this nice CDL, you making all this good money with your CDL, why you not riding? Why you not running right now? Well, so let me think. Okay, so let me think what happened back then.
That's what he said. Let me
Baby,
tell you what
I
happened back
almost said, look, that ain't even been, it's barely been a year. Okay, so you really can't, you don't have to think back that far. So what happened? He said, well, the doctor, I was waiting on the doctor to call. I was like, oh, so something going on with your medical, because it could be high blood pressure, it could be diabetes, it could be anything. He was like, no, not that, not the medical card doctor, the other doctor. I said, oh, so you had something, either you refused or you had something in your urine or your hair or whatever that you couldn't move forward, or they needed to get a prescription or something just to be able to prove that you was good. And so I said, so tell me, look, I ain't gonna be able to help you
right.
unless you give me the real. Like lie to everybody else, okay? Don't lie to me. Give me the real. I'm like your lawyer in this thing, okay? I can't help you unless you tell me the real. And so so I asked him a little bit more questions, and then all of a sudden it came back to him. And I was like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad it's all coming back. So let me know what's going on. Come to find out, that's he had dropped dirty. Well, he didn't smoke, he said. It was hemp. And I said, well, I mean, basically, it's the same thing. The hemp is THC. It's a little bit of THC somewhere in there. Because he was like, I drink hemp milk and hemp oil in my hair, and this and that. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but obviously you failed it. So, and I said, well, have you fought it? Like, what you gonna do? And he was like, I just kind of left it alone. I didn't have the money for the sap, and because that's a racket. But so yeah, I couldn't help him. I gave him my lawyer. I gave him my good lawyer, and told him to contact them and see if there was anything that they could do to help him. So he I guess he gonna reach out to my lawyer and see if they can help.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I mean, I would throw it out here. He definitely, it wasn't because of
Right.
him. And the reason why I feel like it wasn't because of him is because he was hawing around and bull jiving as far as what we can do, and everything like that. It was a
Yeah.
bunch of malarkey. But even if so, I mean, we got to leave you all, not me, because I got arthritis. So have to leave the CBD cream and all the oils and all of that great stuff alone. In the group, we were on the feed talking about this same thing, and he had been in the industry forever, and he was saying, it's so many people that have medical conditions and stuff, and I understand that. I just threw mine out there. It's arthritis, it is for real. Okay, so, but because I know that I need this CBD cream, I know that means that I can't at all drive a truck. Not that y'all want me to either, but I can't. Same thing with my son. He was an athlete. So until he decided not to be an athlete anymore, I wouldn't do the CBD cream for him, and he got more joint issues than a 75-year-old. And that's facts. But until he stopped being an athlete, we couldn't do that because we couldn't chance anything, any scholarships or any issues, because it's just not worth it. So I just wonder if now my 20-year-old, but then he was 18, 19, and 17 years old, why is it that he realized it wasn't worth it? And I legit don't talk to at all any 20-year-olds because you're not old enough for the insurance for the companies. So it just kind of makes, I don't get it, and I don't understand it. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
like I said, it's like a
yeah,
broken record.
and we hate to keep talking about it every day, but hell, maybe we should. Maybe it'll just take that one time, and and stuff like that. It's repeat, just going over and over about the same thing. That maybe somebody won't, or you'll hear that you need to clean yourself for 4 months. I do want to say this because I was talking to a driver today. The last couple of days, same driver, super fantastic driver. Okay, so he ain't smoking a little fancy sticks or nothing. Okay, he got 1,002 years experience. He started driving before BC. Okay, now, but what Miss Jerri and I keep saying is we're seeing this across the board as far as local. There's very little local going on in the country. Okay, that's just period. It's very little local. So what happened is his company is letting them know in Atlanta, they're pulling out of Atlanta and they're going to go elsewhere. And the monies that he was making, which was almost $2,000 a week, working 6 days a week, he's not going to be making that. And if he does come with him, now it's going from that to 60 cents just for the first couple of months, then it's going to be knocked down. And so I said, okay, if I come up with something local out of Atlanta, I'll let you know. So I did. It's a Lowe's position. It's wonderful. It's paying 40-some cents a mile. And he was like, no, that's so much lower. And I said, yeah, it's basically what I told you yesterday. And he was saying, no, I got all this experience. Blah, blah, blah. We can have all the experience. I have a lot of experience in this industry as well. Been doing this a long time. However, when we got to change and do something different, it is what it is. And rent and mortgage come at the first of the month all the time, very quickly. So literally what I told him was going on in the industry is exactly what his company was doing. And he was saying, yeah, but we poured in a lot of stuff last year in 2019 and yada, yada, yada. But a lot of your local 18 wheelers are doing the exact same thing that a Class B can do. The big Class B trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what's happening. And they can maneuver around town bigger than a doggone 48, 53 foot. That's facts as well. And he said, well, I go to South Carolina and that's still local. You home every day. Class B trucks, them big old Class B trucks, they do the same thing. As long as they got a DOT, they can cross over state line. So that's really what's happening. That happened in Illinois when it comes to Nestle.
Yeah. I think the reason why we have to like play it like or talk about it like it's a broken record because every day we're having some type of conversation with somebody, and mine be so fresh on my mind because it just happened like maybe 30 minutes or an hour or whatever before we get on our live every day. And so it used to didn't be that we're talking to somebody every day that had failed a drug test. Like that has not been the norm. But
not every day.
Not every day. Not every day. It's every day that I might talk to somebody that cannot pass a hair drug test. That's every day. Okay. But it's not every day or like several times a week historically over the years that I've talked to somebody that cannot or that has failed one. I'm talking to more and more people that have failed.
Actually failed one.
Yes, that have failed one.
That's worse than can't pass because can't pass, you have the ability to just give yourself time to clean yourself up and all of that type of stuff. But
look here, I ain't got no respect for you. I ain't got no respect for you if you can't pass a urine test. Everybody can pass a urine test. Right. Everybody should be able to pass a urine test. There should be no problems with that. Right. I mean, don't ask me how because I don't know. But from what I hear, everybody.
But word on the street is
word on the street. That's right. Word on the street. Everybody should be able to pass that. But I just talked to a driver yesterday who went to Lord, it was a last resort company. I ain't sent him there because we don't work with them. But it's just like bottom of the bottom of the bottom. But I'm like, hey, if that's all you can get in, go get you some experience, get some time behind that criminal background that you got going on. Yeah. And get in there. Dude called me and said, man, they sending me home because I failed the urine test.
And I'm gonna throw this out here. We always
I ain't to say to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this one out here too. We always talk about, and this was on my personal page that I do lives and stuff on about this, Miss Jerri and I. You know, we talk about, okay, now you out of jail or now you got these felonies or a lot of misdemeanors and things like that, but then you're still doing behavior in order to get stopped in your tracks. That doesn't make sense. We all make mistakes. However, when you still doing stupid stuff, that's not a mistake. And nor did you learn your lesson. And truck driving is literally something that you do not have to graduate from high school. Hell, you ain't got to graduate or get promoted from the 8th grade, and you can have a job that's respectable and be able to take care of your family. But
do you think that that's like not all of them, because there's some really good truck drivers out there, but do you think that that's why some of them take those kind of risks, because they didn't have to work very, very hard to, I mean, they got to work hard, don't get me wrong, but it's the time frame. It takes a couple months and you can have your CDL or less.
In some states like North Carolina, even though they're about to change that law, in Texas and another state, they don't even have to go to school at all. Once to throw that, I try to pretend like I know everything because I'm a Virgo. However, the truth of the matter is I don't. Right, I don't. But one can really make the argument that when you don't take years of sacrifice for whatever your education is, and I hate to say that because I got
Yeah,
a
me
whole
too.
thing.
I
Me
ain't that
neither.
kind of person.
Right, and I legit hate to say that, like, because I don't believe it. However, numbers don't lie.
Right,
Numbers
right,
don't lie. They also
right.
know that it's a better chance if you got a F on your jacket, a felony, or you did a bid, that when you get out, you're not going to do the things to correct what it is. I have a success story. I have a client. I could not hire him as a driver because his criminal record was very, very, very extensive.
Mm.
Okay. He called me in November when I was on the road taking my family to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and he was asking my opinion about things, and I was real raw. And if I'm with my family and I gotta be, and I'm answering the phone and making sure I talk to you and stuff like that, I'm gonna give it to you raw. It's not gonna be nothing that's in the Bible about what I'm saying, and I'm gonna give you the real, for real. If I was talking to somebody that I grew up with that is having these same instances, you have experience, right? I need you to go deal with them companies that aren't mega. They got a nice amount of trucks. They're gonna treat you like a bunch of shit. They're gonna treat you like you the bottom of the earth. Who cares? Your point is to stack your money and get your experience. If you can't go through that boot camp, this ain't for you. First, let's say that. Second, now you go through all the abuse and all of this type of stuff. I ain't talking about getting spit on or hit or anything like that. But I am talking about they're gonna treat you like shit because they know you can't do better at the moment.
And you ain't gonna make nothing.
And you ain't gonna make a whole lot. But you stack your money, you do what you have to do legally to make money. Keep stacking it, keep stacking it. This is what I told him. Get your DOT. Get everything in line. Start. This is in November because it was for Thanksgiving. A couple days on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I was talking to him. Get everything in line that you have to get in line. Everything. Then you quit them SOBs. You got your own authority, and you're legit going to be able to hire your M and effing self. That's how you dig yourself up out the mud. Out of 100 that I tell it to, 5 are going to do it because 5 are the ones that's able. Everybody else just want a handout. I'm not that person, but I will tell you like legit step by step. And he called me. He got everything together. He signed a contract because he need me to find him people. Now he's gonna be able to say whether or not he want to deal with this felon and stuff like that. But he's pulling up, delivering the same loads, and next to the same company that said they wouldn't take his felon ass. Mm-hmm. Now he's literally he hired himself. Some people don't want to do that, and nothing is wrong with that. But if you got some issues that nobody will take your ass because your felonies is so extensive, you have to hire yourself. Mm-hmm. And don't tell me that you can't get treated like shit and you ain't got the time because you just did a bid. If your jacket is that big that these mega companies ain't gonna hire you ever, that means you did some bid, you did some time, you did some for reals. Okay. So with saying that, you got to hire yourself, but you got to be able to dig yourself out the mud. But most people ain't going to do that.
And it take a different kind of person to get it out the mud. It take a different kind of person.
When he called me saying, Miss Kameel, yada, 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 can you do this? Can you, send me a contract? Can you do this? I said, first, let's stop. Let me acknowledge the fact that you dug your M&F and A out the mud. And I'm trying not to cuss because this is on Miss Jerri page and all our aunties is on there, okay?
So all our aunties and uncles, they watching.
We're going to do that today. We're not going to do that today.
Look, they know, okay? They already know.
Yeah, but for real, like, I had to stop. Like, we're not going to just talk about business. We're going to talk about, my feet almost start moving like that. I start shouting, you know, and I yell all the time, but I legit start shouting because that I felt so good that somebody took my advice. And I felt even better that this grown man didn't have to wait for somebody to scrape the crumbs off the GD table. That so I just want to say that. And I almost got emotional this morning because that's big time.
Yeah,
Now, can I help him find drivers? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Can I help him find owner operators to run under his authority? Absolutely. Did I school him on the maturity of his DOT? All these different things that he needs to do and doing a plan with me? Absolutely. But I first have to acknowledge that this man dug himself out the mud because not their mega company was going to take him with the stuff on his bed that he had on his jacket.
Now, the next thing you need to do is help him get his systems in order.
Yeah,
because
that's what we're doing because we have to get. I ain't sending no drivers if your systems, if we're not doing that, because that's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time, and I've ran into some small fleet owners whose systems are not in order. And my number one look. So let me tell you, when you contact, if you're a small fleet owner and you have 1, 2, 5, 10 trucks, and you're looking for Kameel or I to help you find drivers, one thing that you need to make sure that you are able to answer, because you're going to fill out a request form, but we're going to interview you. Okay, our track record is strong. Okay, we're hundreds of drivers strong in what we do. Okay, so we're gonna get you the best, most qualified drivers. Okay, but I want to ask you one question because I need to know if I send you my good driver, if I send you my good drivers, are you going to be able to take care of them? Because my first question that I'm going to ask is, what's your continuity plan? What will you do if my if that truck breaks down and my driver is stranded on side of the road? I want to know what you're going to do. Okay. And if you're not able to answer those questions, then I'm going to be a little bit leery about sending my driver over to you because you don't have your systems in place. Your systems are not ready. Okay. You ain't ready to play with the big boys. Okay. You ain't ready to come up here with us. All right. So we're going to keep sending our drivers over to the megas. All right, where they do have a couple thousand trucks, where somebody just gonna slide in, swoop in a few hours or whatever, and give them a new truck. So if you ain't ready, don't call us. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm the nice one. Can't y'all tell? I'm the nice one.
Yeah. Or if you do if you do call, because if you call, then you have to be open for us to help you because that's what we're here for. I want to be a solution provider for the megas, the drivers, and the small, medium-sized fleets. Now, because we do deal with over 60 megas, we're able to literally take that same expertise and bring it to you for a fraction of the cost, but you got to be willing to invest in your company. You got to don't go out here and buy a $30,000-$40,000 truck if you're not ready to invest in your company.
So not only are we helping you secure your drivers, but we help you put those systems in place, whether it's a contingency plan, because you need out here in this industry, in order for your truck to continuously move and to continuously bring in revenue, to be able to sustain your business, your home, your family, you have to have contingency plans in place. And that's what we do. Okay. Like Kameel said, we work with over 60 megas. We work with over 60 megas and we know the intricacies of their operation. Operations management is my background. And so we know how to have that plan A, B, C, D, E, and F in place so that you can successfully sustain and manage your operation. Absolutely. So while we out here talking about jobs, we got jobs every day. We have a lot of other services that we offer, that we provide. Hit us up. You see our numbers there. We can definitely help you with those. Yeah. All right, so we're coming up on an hour. Kameel, do you have any? We start And we start with our jobs and our hot information, and then we get on a tangent because it's situations and things like arise, and then hey, we gone. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gone.
definitely, definitely. And but that's the reason why we definitely encourage the small owners to, come aboard, small fleet owners to come aboard so we can help you, with
Mhm.
in whatever step you're at. But we don't want to get and start speedballing and get you out there and churn and burn and any of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but you got to be willing really to partner up with us, because other than that, we have to turn you down as a client.
hmm
You
And
know,
we've done that. We've turned down many clients. Camille
we're
has.
not temp
I
agents.
have. It's just some things that we won't do. But yeah, you have to be willing to invest in your business. Okay. But and if you don't have, here's another question that you need to think about for your business. Do you have a pipeline of
Mm,
drivers?
mm.
When that one driver he get mad at you or she get mad at you and she leave your truck at the truck stop,
Who picking up your
who
truck?
who gonna pick up your truck? Are you getting out your bed to go pick it up and get it back on the road? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Where's your pipeline? Okay, where's your pipeline? So that's definitely something to think about. Rose said, I'm a small business owner in industrial work. Okay, girl, do your thing out there. Do your thing. I see you. Thanks for checking in with us, Roseanne. All right. Camille, you got any more last lanes that we need to
No,
talk about?
no, but we have probably, yes, but no, we're not gonna talk about them. We have at least 20 other regional lanes out of Tennessee. We
Yes.
just try to talk about the ones that have the larger amount of need. It's probably what it is, because we definitely do
Making the
have,
most money.
yeah. And but we don't talk about the one or twos as much. But yes, we have a lot out of Tennessee, and we got a lot of over the road that's making money. So just like I just responded to a text when somebody asked me if they had a local in Ohio out in a very rural area. Um, no, and it will never be. However, if you do want regional and want to be home on a weekly basis, I can do that. And if you need to work ASAP and get your rent and mortgage paid, that's I can do that. But
Yes, yes, yes. All right. So Camille and I, we're gonna sign off here in just a second, but we have a webinar coming up.
yes.
That yes, yes, and it's gonna be at the beginning of March, and we're going to bring on. We welcome all of our small business owners, our small fleet owners, to join us in this webinar. It's a live webinar. We ain't doing nothing pre-recorded because we want to be able to interact with our small fleet owners and them to be able to ask live questions. Okay, so we'll be able to cover a lot of what we cover. Like we said, we work with so many mega companies. We can help you transition that mega company mindset, that mega operation into your small fleet operation. So we definitely want to be able to help you build those systems and help you grow those contingency plans. So we're going to release the date for our webinar very, very soon. Like I said, it'll be early March. And we're really looking forward to working with some of the small business owners, small fleet owners that we've worked with in the past, but also new small fleet owners that are looking to get into trucking, that are already in trucking, already have a couple of trucks or one truck and looking to, trying to see what they need to do, the steps that they need to take to grow, not only from a a truck perspective, but from a driver perspective,
Yeah.
because sometimes you don't marry the two. You do one thing, but not the other. And so we'll help you acquire your drivers, find your drivers, because you don't always want to use us. You shouldn't always need and have to use us. And we ain't cheap, okay? We ain't cheap. We come with a price tag, okay, for our services. But we want to be able to give you all the information that you can utilize and build and grow your own operation without the need of a recruiter, without the need of someone helping you build your system. So we'll have a day for our webinar that we will share and release. You'll be seeing the flyer soon coming up.
Yes. And thank you. You can reach us both on all our social media. You see it down there. So we're both on each thing respectively, from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we're definitely going to try to figure out this Instagram live, but
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to. I know we can do it individually, but I don't know how we can do it with this married with all the rest of our at the same time.
Yeah. We'll get it together. We'll have it together by tomorrow, okay? She is not technologically savvy, but I am, okay? That's why we have this wonderful partnership. We have this wonderful partnership
where it together though.
We're gonna get it together, all right? So again, y'all, thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you go and like and subscribe to our YouTube channels. I am Life on the Road Recruiting. She is Rig on Wheels. You got Miss Jerri, you got Auntie Kameel, and we signing out, y'all.
All right, love y'all.
Love y'all. Have a good one.
Same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70.